Hello, my name is Talia Elko, and today I'm going to be talking about coronary heart disease and lifespan development for Psychology 240, the final presentation. What is coronary heart disease? Coronary heart disease is when the arteries in the heart cannot deliver enough oxygen-rich blood to the heart due to atherosclerosis, and this is going to be narrowing the passageway to the heart, to and from the heart, and this is typically caused by buildup of plaque. CHD is one of the most common causes of death in the United States, especially for those in the older population. And there are heavy connections to biological, psychological, and social factors that increase or decrease the risk of it. Connections to CHD. During Unit 1, we are primarily looking at biology, things such as epigenetics and genetics. For epigenetics, things such as biological and environmental influences changes how the genes are presented in an individual. And during studies that we looked at from specifically mice, such as Fred and George, who were brothers that were separated at birth, and then Goody mice, different things such as looking at grooming or what their diet was, can increase the risk of different diseases, primarily diabetes or high cholesterol. And those two things are big risk factors for CHD. Other things such as hypertension and depression also play a big role in it. But from those experiments, we can see that epigenetics, if that causes an individual to have diabetes, then they're also going to have an increased risk of CHD as well. During Unit 2, we were looking at a lot of psychological effects, and primarily what I'm going to be talking about is the correlation between CHD and depression. These two are heavily paired together a majority of the time, and many practitioners believe that any CHD patient should also be assessed for depression because of how common they are found to be together, and depression also increases the risk of it. Um, Depression is also comparatively just as bad as smoking for an individual based on their negative outcomes in someone's life. And stress and depression typically have the effect of increasing an individual's blood pressure, their heart rate, and the amount of inflammation they have in their body over a long period of time. So this is typically discussing chronic depression and chronic stress. During Unit 3, we were looking at a lot of social and behavioral aspects, and one that we were primarily focusing on was hostility. Hostility is typically when an individual has a hostile behavior and they take action upon that. This increases the risk of CHD because the hostility will increase blood pressure and heart rate, very similar to depression. And this will take effect over a long period of time because when an individual has a hostile personality and their actions display it, it's going to take a much longer time for them to actually be able to calm down. And that means that it's going to put more strain on their heart. And also, someone who has hostility is typically going to have risky behavior and participate in things such as smoking and drinking. For the reflection questions, the concept that changed how I viewed human development and behavioral the most is probably how negatively stress and depression can impact an individual. And that's not just the body, it's also the mind. Before this course, I understood that most heart diseases were because of genetic predisposition and lifestyle choices from someone. But I never recognized how big of an impact stress and depression actually play in the development of deadly chronic illnesses over someone. And with how stressful everyone's day-to-day life is, whether that's juggling a job, finances, family, and even a sick family member, it can be very hard to regulate things like that when you have so much going on. Understanding the lifespan development makes me a more empathetic professional because it allows me to see past an individual's health condition. I'm pursuing nursing and I just got accepted into the nursing program. So there's a lot of things I can take away and bring with me into the future from this class. Um, but there's a lot of moving pieces that end up playing a role in how an individual turns out later in life. And this isn't just behavior and lifestyle choices. Um, but knowing how development unfolds from infancy to adulthood reminds me to push past face value of someone and to look at the whole person because there's many things we can't control in life, how you were raised, what it was like for you during birth, and things that just all pile up to have an impact on someone. I also recently got my CNA certification, so I worked a lot in geriatrics. And during my clinicals, I witnessed a lot of people who are in their most vulnerable state and do need assistance. And being able to look aside from asking myself, oh, how did this person take care of them? Do they smoke? Allows me to give them my best care and do what I can for them. That's it within my scope of practice. Thank you and have a nice summer.